She Buys It. Hello, YouTube. Hello, everybody. This is Whitney Nicely from She Buys It, and I wanted to introduce myself because I didn't know if you would recognize me if I'm not wearing pink. This is actually like well, I wear it as a swim shirt. It's not really, but it's a long sleeve shirt because Jason keeps it like a meat freezer in this room. And I usually turn the air off so I don't freeze here all day while he's at work. But then I forget to turn it back on, and it's like 84 degrees when he comes back home. And then he's upset with me as soon as he gets home because I've left the air off and it's 84 degrees. And then I'm hot, and then it takes forever for it. Anyway, instead of just fighting that marital battle over the thermostat, I am just opting to wear a long sleeve shirt as I work inside in the middle of August when it's, really hot. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, I'm not wearing pink because I don't have a pink long sleeve shirt yet, but I am working on that. I'm here to answer your questions though. And I see a couple of you hopping on. So as you hop on, if you're joining me live, hashtag lady down in the comments. And if you're watching on the replay later in the group, tonight, this evening, tomorrow, or if you're watching this on YouTube months and months and months from now, hashtag landlord if you're watching on the replay. But if you're live with me right now and there's a little red live button, I think right there, hashtag lady. If you're watching this later, hashtag landlord. And it's so good to see y'all. Yay! So we had quite a few questions today, and that is fantastic. I love answering your questions. And the way we roll in the She Buys It group is so that I have kind of a sense of what's going on with my schedule and what's going on in my world and making sure that I don't miss anybody's questions. The way we do this is on Mondays in the group, I put up a post that says, what kind of questions do you have? And then you can leave me all the questions that you have. And then on Tuesday, I'll go live in the group and answer your questions. Okay? So that's where we are now. It's Tuesday. It's time for me to answer your questions. And if you're finding this somewhere later and you're not in the She Buys It group on Facebook, go to shebuysit.com/group and join us. We'd love to have you. Alrighty, so let's get to the questions. Amira, I hope I said that right. Amira has a ton of questions, and that is awesome. She also gave me her goals. She wants to have 3 rentals by the end of the year. Totally possible. You can totally do that. 3 rentals is a perfect place to start and very good goal setting. It's measurable. She wants 3, and there's a timeline by the end of the year. You can do it. You can totally do it. I know you can do this. Yay! Okay, so what contracts are needed to set up or offer a wraparound mortgage? Are the contracts different for seller financing? Okay, so contracts, let's just talk about contracts for a second. Contracts are different for every single thing. And that's just basic contracts, okay? If you were getting a contract for a job, it would be different than a contract to list a house. Just like the contract to buy the house is different than the one to list it. The contract to rent the house is different. And if that wasn't confusing enough, the contracts are different in every state. Sometimes the contracts are different in every county. Okay, I'm in Tennessee and I have rental properties in 3 different counties, and I have to have different seller financing contracts per county. I have to have different rental contracts per county. I have to have different lease option contracts per county. And I don't do wraparound financing, wraparound mortgages. I don't do wraps. I might do subject to, but I mostly do lease options and owner financing. I would have to have a different contract for that. And if that wasn't confusing enough, I have never, ever, ever in my whole life met an attorney who liked or approved of another attorney's contract. So if your attorney switches counties, they're going to want a new contract. If your attorney gets a new partner in their firm, they're going to want a new contract. If your attorney goes to some continuing education and some new legislature came out, they're going to want to give you a new contract. Oh my gosh, so many contracts and so many laws and so many rules and so many things to keep up with. Ladies, I close all of my deals with my attorney. I have one generic one-pager that I use when I'm doing a lease option or when I'm doing owner financing. And the biggest difference on my one-pager is the header. The lease options up at the top says lease with option to purchase real property. My owner financing one-pager says, it might even say seller financing, but it's seller financing real property. The rest of the page on both contracts are identical. It is literally 8 words on the top. That's the difference in those two contracts. My papa told me before he passed that that contract will lay there and let you write whatever you want to on it. And I get my one-pagers signed by my seller and my tenant buyer. And then I send both one-pagers to my attorney and I say, give me a contract back. Give me 2 contracts back. Give me whatever you want back. Because it's not my job to keep up with how contracts change and the intricacies of contracts. That's not my job. My job is to be a deal maker. My job is to go out and talk to sellers. My job is to go out and talk to tenant buyers. My job is to simplify and summarize what this person wants to hit their goals. And it's to simplify and summarize what this person wants to hit their goals. And for my sellers, their goal is to sell the property. For my tenant buyers, their goal is to buy the property. I just got to get the bullet points out on the one-pager, and then I turn it over to my attorney. That's it. Now, in First Fill Done Fast, in FTDF Plus, I give you the contracts that I use, but they're just templates. Your attorney may hate them. One of the ladies in the mastermind uses my attorney. He's got a new office in Knoxville. I use an attorney in Hamlin County. He's set up a new office in Knox County. One of the mastermind girls uses my attorney's firm, but in a different county, and they require her to use different forms, different contracts. It's the same firm, and my attorney knows that I've been doing this for years, and he likes the contracts that we're using. But his partner in a different county with one of my girls who I've helped get deals done hates those. Other attorneys in Tennessee think my attorney is a genius, loves the one-pagers. I've got a girl in Washington State, lady in Washington State. Her attorney hates my one-pager. I've got a lady in Florida. Her attorney loves my full-blown contract, hates my one-pager. Okay, so don't get so riled up and dedicated to one contract. All right, you don't just need one deal. You need lots of deals. You need one husband, and sometimes that's too many. But contracts, deals, rental houses, you need all of those. Okay, that's what I want for you. The contracts are important, but the contracts that I give you, those are just the ones that I use. They're samples. Expect your attorney to rip it to shreds. And when they do rip it to shreds, say, all right, well, fix it, make it better. But I basically want it to say this. All right, your attorney in Georgia may hate it. I had a lady, I think in Pennsylvania, using my full-blown contract, and she took it to her attorney, and he was like, well, the only thing wrong with this is it says on the last page that it's written for the state of Tennessee. And we were like, well, duh, fix that. But everything else is fine. He was like, yeah, everything else is fine for Pennsylvania. Awesome. One contract does not fit all. It's not like a marriage license where one size fits all. And then you just got to figure out how to make that thing stick. Contracts are individual, just like the person is individual, just like the property is individual. There's not just one contract. And Lord have mercy, don't go just out to the internet and get a contract and think that's going to be good. Spend some time with an attorney and use the samples that I give you in First Deal Done Fast until your attorney says, I hate this. Can I make you a new one? Yes, please. Thank you. That's how I ended up with my one pager. I was using a contract that I got from my coach, and my attorney hated it. Honestly, I kind of hated it too because it was really wordy and it was kind of confusing, and I had to do math on it. So my attorney said, let's fix this. Let's get you one that I like and you like. And I was like, awesome. I used it for a year, and I was like, actually, this should go first, and then this should come second, and then I want to put a blank here. And he was like, fine, whatever. I don't care. So you can do it that way. But don't get tied up or married down to contracts, okay? You need lots of different contracts, and different attorneys will have different perspectives. Man, okay, I feel like I've killed the contract question. Amira, I hope that helps. She also asked, how do you pull comps on a property? So there's a couple different ways that you can pull comps or comparables. Remember, though, comps are the history of what has happened, and sometimes they're up for interpretation. The best way to get comps, you can let a real estate agent pull comps for you. You can do a little bit of guesswork on the Big Z or on Realtor.com. You can go down to the courthouse and look it up yourself because it's public record to see what properties sold for. You can buy a bunch of houses in the same neighborhood, and then you know what comps are because you're controlling them. Other ways to pull comps, I don't know, because we don't really deal with comps a whole lot. In First Deal Done Fast, I teach you how to make 3 offers on the property, and I teach you how to pull comps, and I teach you how to get a good guesstimate or hypothesis on what this house might be worth if it was in beautiful condition. But I don't focus on that as much as other people do, because when we're talking about lease options and we're talking about creative financing and we're talking about weird deals, a lot of times we're just dealing with the seller and what they owe on the property. We're dealing with how much they pay per month. We're dealing with how we can solve their problems by taking over those payments. We're dealing with, yeah, I'm going to make you a cash offer, but it's going to be super low. It's going to be less than what you owe. So let's just not even worry about it. It's X, Y, and Z. And I know you're not going to take it. I wouldn't expect you to take it because nobody wants to bring $30,000 to closing just so I can make you a low ball offer. Let me make you a full price offer, and we'll put it out there and see if I can get it to sell. See if I can get somebody to buy this contract from me. See if I can get somebody to assign this deal to. See if I can get a tenant buyer in here. I'm not really worried about comps, and Victor Jernigan was one of my very first mentors. Wonderful man, probably the smartest man in Knoxville, to be honest. Sorry, Dad. And Victor hates comps because history can tell us a lot, but it's not going to tell us the future. Not exactly. People will argue that all day long. But comps are just the history. That's what it was worth 6 months ago. An appraisal is only good for 24 hours. So if you get an appraisal today, tomorrow it's out of date. If you got a 3-year-old appraisal, that thing is $900 maybe 1,000 days old. It's irrelevant. And Victor taught me that comps were pretty much irrelevant also. So I don't really get tied down into comps. They're cute to know, but basically I bought a condo a couple weeks ago and I just looked at the comps on 3 different websites. I looked on Zillow, Trulia, and Redfin, I think. And between those 3 websites, the condo that I was looking at was 118 to 127. But I was buying it for $50,000. So the comps had me somewhere around 120 and I bought it for 50. The comps don't matter. I would have bought that condo for 100, but she didn't owe anything on it. She needed to be cashed out in 7 days, so she was willing to take half of what it was worth to solve her problem. Don't get too tied down into comps. How do you calculate rent? There's an old rule of thumb in real estate investing on how to calculate rent. And it says, my mom taught me that it's 1%. So if you buy a house for $100,000, this old rule of thumb says you should be able to rent it for $1,000 a month. But if you look online and it looks like everything is renting for $600 a month in this neighborhood, then you're probably not going to get $1,000 a month unless you throw in a lot of extra goodies. Now on my condo, I'm renting it for $700 a month and I paid $50. So I'm doing better than the rule of thumb, right? I also, in First Little and Fast, teach you how to use the easy calculator and how to set up owner financing, which will tell you what your payments are every single month. And if you can figure out what your payments are, and then you can look online and find out what things in the area are renting for, then you can decide if you're going to make enough spread to cover your payments and insurance and incidentals and still have cash flow. And when we do lease options, that's one way that we win, but we win 3 different ways because we get big non-refundable option fees. We get $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 for somebody to move into our house. And then we're paying $800, $900, maybe $1,500, but we're renting it for $300 more. So we're renting it for $1,100 to $2,000 a month. So we're making money on the non-refundable option fee. We're making money on the monthly payment. And then we've usually bought the house for $120, but it's worth $150. So when our tenant buyer goes to get their mortgage, we're going to get a back end payday. 1, 2, 3. We're getting 3 paydays. We're getting the back end payday of the difference of we agreed to pay $120, but we're selling it for $150. So there's $30,000 that we're going to get. And I teach in First Still Done Fast that I just want you to win 2 out of 3 ways. Sometimes you're getting big non-refundable option fees and big back-end paydays. Awesome. Do it to it, baby. That's worth not really making anything per month as long as you're getting big option fees and big back-end paydays. Or you might not get much of a non-refundable option fee, but you're creating $600 or $700 a month in cash flow. Sheila's doing that on one of her deals in Washington. I think she got $5,000 for these people to move in, but she's getting $600 a month in cash flow, and then she's getting a big back-end payday of like $45,000. She's making $60,000 on a deal that she's got $10 invested in. She's paying $500 a month on owner financing, and she's collecting $1,100 a month in a lease option monthly rent. So when we talk about lease options, it's not just about monthly rent. It's not just about buying it at 50 cents on the dollar. There's 3 different ways that we can make money on lease options, and that's why I love them so much. We get big non-refundable option fees when people move in. We get a monthly spread of cash flow, and if our tenants get a mortgage, we get a back-end payday. Last year, today, I cashed out my first $200,000 deal. Yay! If you're watching this live right now, give me a hashtag lady to celebrate my first $200,000 deal. If you're watching this on the replay, drop a hashtag landlord in the comments and say yay! All right, $200,000 on one deal that I didn't have anything invested in? I mean, how long could you live off $200,000 in one deal? Just one deal. How long could you live off $200,000? Because that deal closed a year ago today, and I'm still living off of that $200,000 because I used that money to cash out another deal, which increased my cash flow. Instead of having to pay some people, I took my profits and I cashed out some other sellers. That way, when those rent checks came in, I didn't have to push a payment out. I just got to keep it all. And that is an ever-flowing river of money. Comes in every month. That's what I want for you. Yes, $200,000 at a time is amazing. But $5,000 extra a month, $10,000 extra a month, $400 extra a month, $600 extra a month, all of it rolls to the good side for you. Do those deals, ladies. Do those deals. Sarah's saying, yay, the comments. Okay, Amira says, if you happen to find a good deal with the MLS for seller financing, how are the agents compensated? I have never found a good deal on the MLS where the agent was willing to offer owner financing and the seller understood what was happening. I am the broker for Whitney Buys Houses. I love creative financing. I love owner financing. I love lease options. I love weird deals. I love that. But I am definitely in the minority of real estate agents who understand that whole chapter in the book on creative financing. Most agents only know how to get the clear to close and chase the clear to close and go to the closing table. Most agents don't understand. If most agents would look outside the box and realize that they are scrambling to get to closing every single month to take care of their bills and their credit card payments and their mortgage and their car payment and oh my God, all the things, and they're freaking wearing themselves out. If more agents would realize that what they need is monthly solid drips, kind of like a salary, but where they don't have to go to work. That's called passive income. Ain't nothing really passive about it, but that's what we call it. Most agents don't set up owner financing for your question exactly. How do they get paid? They only know one way to get paid, and that's at the closing table. And if you're not really going to the closing table, they don't know how to get paid. They don't understand that they could get a little bit of the non-refundable option fee or the down payment, and they could get a couple $100 every single month until you cash out, and then they get another payday. They don't understand how to put that together, and their brokers are so busy doing adult babysitting that they never figure out how to do it either. Oh my gosh. Time out. I need a break. This topic wears me out. It's not a bad question. It's really not. It's a fantastic question. It just drives me bonkers because real estate agents have been attacking me since I got my license because I decided to focus on this little niche. Tamika Bryant will tell you the riches are in the niches. The riches are in the niches. She wrote a book on that, and she's a broker. She gets it. She knows what I'm doing. She's cool as all get out. She's a coach too. She's an investor too. But most brokers aren't like me. Most brokers aren't like Tamika. Most brokers only know how to chase the clear to close, how to represent buyers and represent sellers. They never can see the forest for the trees and see the drips of money that they could be collecting if they would just learn what they were required to learn to get their license and to keep their license with continuing education. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get so upset. I just get so frustrated that agents have literally thousands of ways to make money. They should and totally could set up owner financing deals and put them on the MLS and help more people. Everybody's not going to qualify for a mortgage, y'all. Everybody's not going to be approved to get a mortgage. Every house isn't going to qualify for FHA or VA. People are trying to shove round pegs in square holes out there. And it kills me. I'm sorry. I did not mean to get upset. Your question just triggered me. And it wasn't just your question, Amira. Your question was wonderful. And it's a great question. I just get really upset talking about it. Let's move on to the next question so I can regain control and composure. Oh, Amira says that she's in Texas, so lease options are different, so she's not going to ask about that. Yeah, Texas has their own little special situations. How do you market for motivated sellers? What do you put in the marketing material? I love marketing. Oh my gosh. Negotiating is my favorite thing in the deal because that's how we get to the win-win situations for everybody. Win-win-win. Negotiating is my favorite part. Marketing is my second favorite part. Closing, I mean, that's where we make the money. So yeah, definitely up there. But negotiating is my favorite part of the fun time. And then marketing is the second favorite. So in First Build and Fast, I teach you like 14 different ways to market. In fact, Sheila and I talked about newspaper marketing this morning on our mastermind call. But there's 14 different ways that you can market. And the best way that I would tell you if you're just getting started, and especially if you're not in First Build and Fast, which is closed right now, but I have something coming up next week that I think you might be interested in. If you missed First Build and Fast, it closed last month, actually. I've got something coming out in the next week that I think you're going to be interested in. But it's all good. We open First Build and Fast, or we're going to be opening First Build and Fast twice a year from now on, so that there's an open and a close. But in First Build and Fast, I teach you 14 different ways to market to sellers. My favorite way, especially if you're new or you're not in First Build and Fast, is just to start talking to people. Let everybody know on your Facebook page that you buy houses. Let everybody know in your Sunday school class that you buy houses. Let everybody know at your office that you buy houses. And you are your best marketing tool. Unless you have kids and you can get them to wear a button that says, "My mommy buys houses." And then they're your best marketing tool. People love kids. They can't say no to them. And dogs. They can't say no to them. You put a "I buy houses" tag on your dog, people will stop you in the airport. I know because Janine put a button on Rex, her Dutch Shepherd therapy dog. Not therapy dog. Janine, what is he called? What is Rex? Her special helper? I don't know what he's called, but he's a service dog. A service animal. That's what he is. Spit it out, Whip. So Rex wears his yellow "I buy houses" button all over the place, and people stop him. He's a Dutch Shepherd, kind of like a German Shepherd, but skinny. They stop him all over the place and say, "So you buy houses?" And Janine says, "Well, I sign the contracts, but he markets for me." All right? Let your dog do your marketing for you. Let your kids do your marketing for you. Yeah, we can talk about yellow letters. We can talk about bandit signs. We can talk about newspaper ads. We can talk about email signatures. We can talk about putting a headliner up on your Facebook page. We can talk about Craigslist ads. We can talk about calling Zillow ads. We can talk about door knocking. There are lots of different ways to market to let people know that you buy houses. But the number one way, the fastest way, the cheapest way is to let your Facebook friends know that you buy houses. And I've got a 7-day challenge in First Build and Fast to let your Facebook friends know that you buy houses without feeling like a used car salesman, or without feeling like you're in an MLM and you're pitching all your friends, without kind of being negative on what you do now. Because a lot of the ladies in First Little and Fast are actually respiratory therapists. We have a lot of respiratory therapists. We also have a lot of real estate agents. We have a lot of stay-at-home moms. We have a lot of ladies who work in different office environments. We have women that own their own business in First Little and Fast. And so the last thing I want you to do is to confuse your people or scare your people that you're about to jump ship and leave your job. But there's a nice, easy way to warm people up, to let them know that you also want to be a real estate investor, to let people know that you have a retirement fund that is going to include a real estate portfolio. That's what I want you to do, is I want you to slowly warm them up to the idea and educate them on how you can help them with their real estate problems. And we include it in First Little and Fast. It's one of the bonuses in First Little and Fast. It's a 7-day lead challenge so that you can let your friends and family know without feeling sleazy about it. So you can educate them so that you can help them. Because honest to goodness, some of the best deals that I've ever done have come from sellers on Facebook. I told you earlier about my condo. It came from Facebook. A woman I haven't talked to in probably a decade sent me a message, and she was like, hey, Whit, I need to sell my place. You want to come look at it? And I was like, what else you got going on? Well, and she told me, and I was able to solve her problem. But it was just because I put it up on Facebook. Hey, y'all, I buy houses. And because I've been putting it on Facebook for like 5 years now. So my people are like, good God, we know you buy houses. But they think of me. When they get ready to sell a house, they think of me. My high school buddies call me. Hey, I'm getting ready to sell Mom's house. You want to go look at it? You're the only one that I would trust to help me get rid of this, or tell me what I need to do to get rid of this. Sure. I'd love to. So that's the best marketing I can tell you. Amir also says, do the sellers check your financials when offering seller financing? No way, hell no, you ain't seeing nothing of mine. Nope, ain't doing it. Nope. Solid no on that. I don't like to tell people no, but I will say no. They don't need in your business. You need to find sellers that have problems and you solve their problems. If you got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Those are the sellers you want. And those sellers don't want to see your financials. Those sellers don't care, because those sellers have a problem and you can solve it. If you can solve problems, you can buy houses. In fact, there's a saying in real estate, a lot like Tamika Bryant says, the riches are in the niches. There's a saying in real estate that new investors want to buy houses. Real investors solve problems. That's it. It's just a giant math problem solve. It's just math attached to dirt and deeds. You're just a problem solver. Anybody in real estate investing that hasn't realized it yet is still trying to buy houses. Once you realize that you're a problem solver, you're not a house buyer, you're not an investor, you are amazing. Your mom told me so. You're definitely amazing. Gorgeous. Smartest kid ever. Your mom told me that too. But you're not that special. You're a problem solver. And ladies, we make the best real estate investors because we are the best problem solvers. Your husband can come in and give you half of the situation and boom, you'll solve it. Your kid will come home upset. You've solved it before they've even quit crying. You just know what the problem is and you solve it. If you're here with me, I'll take an amen on that. Or hashtag lady if you're watching this live, and hashtag landlord if you're with me now watching the replay. All right? You're a problem solver. You're not a real estate investor. You're not a wholesaler. You're not even really a real estate agent. Real estate agents are problem solvers. Real estate investors are problem solvers. And if you haven't come to grips with that yet, that might be why you're not doing as many deals as you should be. Sorry, that one hurt. Somebody got hurt on that one. I'm sorry. It's the truth though. Y'all are problem solvers. And a lot of times the problem has nothing to do with the property. The symptom might be the property, but the problem is not the property. Okay? Problem is not the property. All right, Lizzie says, if I find a great seller and want to do a lease option and assign it, how do you find the folks to assign it to? Okay, Lizzie, great question. And Lizzie, you're in First Sold and Fast. So modules 6, 7, and 8 are going to teach you how to find folks to assign the contract to. Okay, so Lizzie, you're probably not to those modules yet, but modules 6 through 8 are solely focused on assigning the deal either to somebody and then you get out, or assigning the deal so you get the non-refundable option fee and then you stay in the middle of the deal to get the monthly payment and the back end payday. Module 9 actually is mostly just a case study of me going through my deals and showing you my paperwork and the flow of how things happen to me and how I found my buyers and where I got the assignment fees. In 2014, y'all, I did 14 deals and I assigned 12 of them. I only kept 2 deals out of 14. If I could go back and do anything differently, I would have kept all of those deals, because now instead of having 15 properties, I'd probably have 30. I might have 40 properties if I would have kept them all, but I assigned them all for like the first year and a half, really. First half of 2015, I assigned those too. But Lizzie, modules 6 through 8 will show you how to find them and how to negotiate with them. And whether you're assigning it or you're wholesaling it or you're assigning a lease option or whatever it is, modules 6 through 8 will help you with that. And module 9 in First Sold and Fast, and Lizzie, you're in First Sold and Fast, so that's why I'm telling you to go there. Module 9 is an in-depth case study from me to you on, I think I went through 4 different deals, 4 different assignment deals, and what the paperwork looked like, what the process looked like, how I found those people, how I negotiated with those people, how I went to closing with it. All of that is in module 9. So Lizzie, keep going through those modules and you'll get to those answers, because it's hours of videos, but all the answers are in modules 6 through 9. You should find the answers in there, Lizzie. If you have any other questions and you don't find your answers in there, let me know. Okay. Those were all the questions we had, and I have a call with one of the ladies in FDDF Plus. If you're interested in FDDF Plus, stay tuned. I will be telling more about FDDF Plus here in the group and over on my personal page and on the She Buys It page at the end of this week. But I got a one-on-one call with one of the plussers right now. So I got to let you go. Bye, ladies.